ANC's National Executive Committee meets today at St. George's Hotel in Irene. President Cyril Ramaphosa has been battling to unite the governing party since his 2017 victory at NASREC. Now this week, Julius Malema revealed that former Tourism Minister Derek Hanekom met with EFF Secretary General Godrich Gardie to discuss the removal of then President Jacob Zuma. Now Hanekom has admitted to the meeting, but he insists there's nothing untoward. ENCA's Samgele Masego joins us live from the venue of the NEC meeting. Masego, good morning to you. So this NEC meeting comes at a time when the president of the party, Cyril Ramaphosa, has been found to have violated the Executive Ethics Code by the Public Protector in as far as the declaration or lack thereof of the donations that were made to his campaign. But perhaps more importantly, Samgele, the Public Protector's credibility right now may be in question. But the bigger political question here is about who donated these vast amounts of money to the CR17 campaign. That is what the opponents of the president are perhaps going to focus on, isn't it?
Yes, indeed, Oli. We can definitely say that at this point in time, here at St. George's Hotel, just behind me, you can see some of ANC members in Maloti Apifong municipality. They are here protesting for their 16 councillors who were removed by the ANC, complaining about Ace Mahashule, basically saying, I can see a placard there saying, Mahashule, leave Maluti alone. You can see other ones that reinstate our 16 councillors. Another one basically saying no by-elections in Maluti Apufong. Mr. President, be a man of your words. So basically there is a barrage of issues plaguing the governing party at this point in time. The top six of the ANC, the president, deputy president, SG Ace Makashule, DSG Tesu Duarte, Paul Mashatile, the treasurer, and Kwere Mantashe, the national chair, are currently in an officials meeting here at St. George's Hotel, which that meeting began at about 9 o'clock this morning, only to deliberate on these issues, such as the report of the Public Protector saying that the president violated the oath of ethics when it comes to his role as the president of the Republic of South Africa. They may be deliberating on that report, and also and the president may be asked by other officials to get an audit of those donors who donated that over 400 million rands of money's worth towards his CR17 ANC presidential campaign. But that's not only the issue on the table, it would also be the future of the Public Protector, Busisiwe Mkhwebane, which must be deliberated in the National Assembly. She's also threatened to take National Assembly Speaker Thandi Modise if she allows this debate on her future to be debated in the National Assembly, and should there be a motion for her to be removed, particularly after that damning Concord judgment on her that she basically didn't act in good faith when it came to the issue of ABSA and when the issue of the South African Reserve Bank. So there's a barrage of issues, and also organizational issues when you trickle them down to the issues of Zandi Lokumete in the eThekwini region. You remember that there is a PwC recommendation to the PEC in that particular province for Zandi Lokumete to step down as the mayor of eThekwini, which Mtumseni Ntuli, the provincial secretary of KwaZulu-Natal, has to provide an organizational report on the state of the ANC within that particular province. There is the issue of Denim Caesar and Florence Radzelani in the Limpopo province, rather. That's the deputy chair and the treasurer of that particular province. And then there is this hot potato conundrum of Derek Hanekom, who has confessed to having meetings with the EFF Secretary General Godrich Gardie in the 2017 motion of the Democratic Alliance to remove former President Jacob Zuma as the President of the Republic of South Africa. If you remember, that particular vote of no confidence, Jacob Zuma narrowly survived, with some ANC MPs voting with what they termed at the time voting with their conscience.
Now, Samgele, you mentioned two issues that I want to hone in quickly on, and the first one is that of the Public Protector. The question here, Samgele, is whether the ANC will take a position coming out of this NEC on the incumbent in the office of the Public Protector, because they have a caucus in Parliament that is in the majority. Now, that will be a test of strength of who's really in charge here, Samgele, because there have been intimations, even within the governing party, that the public protector's fitness for office surely has got to be discussed in Parliament.
Well, Oli, interestingly, the ANC did hold a caucus meeting yesterday in Cape Town, in Parliament, and they were discussing a barrage of issues before Parliament goes into recess for the next coming weeks or so. So Parliament will be in recess, but there is a jostling of power in the African National Congress. It's a divided organization. You've got the Secretary General of the ANC, Ace Makashule, who's seen to be part of the Jacob Zuma camp within the African National Congress, who is attacking those who are currently controlling the levers of power when it comes to government, which is the faction purported to be that of President Cyril Ramaphosa, Paul Mashakile, David Mabuza, and National Chairperson Gwede Mantashe, with many people saying that the Deputy Secretary General, Jesse Duarte, is seemingly leaning towards that particular perspective of the President of the ANC. No, you've got the likes of Pravin Gordhan, who are seemingly in the inner circles of the camp of President Cyril Ramaphosa, who are seen to being attacked by the public protector, that would be Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane. You've seen those damning reports and remedial actions by the public protector, which are now before the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria over the rogue unit within the South African Revenue Services. When Pravin Gordhan was still the Commissioner of SARS, you've got the early retirement of Pravin Gordhan's ally, that would be Ivan Pillay. Then you've got that remedial action that the public protector said Ivan Pillay should have not been granted early retirement by the then SARS Commissioner Pravin Gordhan, who's taken all of these reports by the public protector on legal review. Then you've got the president, who came out last week, Oli, in a press briefing, who basically said that he holds the office of the public protector in high regard and is disappointed by the findings of the public protector, which he says basically are bizarre and unfounded, and he doesn't get how the public protector got to investigate and extend her scope into looking into party political matters of his presidential campaign, and how there was basically donors who donated into the CR17 campaign, and basically the public protector asking the National Public Prosecuting Authority, Shamila Patoy, the NDDP, to look into the possibility of a case of money laundering when it comes to the CR17 campaign. Remember, there were also emails that saw and transactions that saw money from the trust, CR17 trust, going into the Cyril Ramaphosa Foundation, and saying that the president must declare, as stipulated by the South African Constitution, that if the president were to receive any gifts or any interest, he has to declare to the National Assembly, and basically saying that the president within 30 days has to declare and say who funded the CR17 campaign. The president taking exception to the report of the public protector, also saying that he's going to be taking it on legal review as well, just like Pravin Gordhan took the key reports by the public protector on legal review. But on the side of the president, those are his issues, and those who are perceived to be in his camp when it comes to the issue of the public protector. Then interestingly, Koli, here on the right-hand side, you've got the Estina dairy farm matter of the likes of Msebenzi Zwane, the former Minister of Agriculture, former Minister of Mineral Resources in South Africa, and the former Premier of the Free State Province, that would be Ace Makashule, were implicated in the Estina Dairy Farm report, which basically was a whitewash when it comes to when it was taken on legal review and set aside by the court, saying that the public protector didn't do a thorough job on that particular matter. That would be Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, which is also a bone of contention. Basically, many people accusing the public protector of playing political football and siding with the faction which is purported to be part of the state capture project in South Africa with the Gupta family. Many people saying that the public protector is not acting in good faith. In fact, if I remember correctly, Koli, I wanted an engagement with the Minister of Mineral Resources and National Chairperson of the ANC, Gwede Mantashe, who basically said that Busisiwe Mkhwebane is targeting President Cyril Ramaphosa and leaving other ANC presidential candidates who also had funds which were being pumped into their campaigns for the ANC's NASREC Conference in 2017, asking, why is she not investigating those other presidential candidates, and where did those monies come from?
Now, Samgele, just very lastly and briefly, if we strip this down to its bare bones, put aside what the rule book of the ANC says, which is their constitution, about a member who may be fostering divisions within the party. If Derek Hanekom, coming out of this meeting this weekend, is either suspended or, referred to a disciplinary committee of the ANC, will that be a perceived weakness on the side of the president? Or if Magashule doesn't win the day, will that be seen again as them having been beaten thoroughly at this meeting? These are politics at the end of the day.
Politics is always politics. You know very well, me and you are political animals. And interestingly, those who are in the camp of Ace Magashule, his allies, his advisors, when I was at Luthuli House yesterday, they were saying to him, SG, you made a huge mistake with that scathing statement you said out on Derek Hanekom, basically calling him a charlatan and basically saying he's the enemy and working to dividing the African National Congress, saying that SG, you have effectively shifted the debate from Derek Hanekom and shifted towards you and your statement. Now the NEC will be coming like a ton of bricks down on you and less focused on Derek Hanekom. Yes, there will be those who may be within your perspective who will be defending you, who will be calling for the suspension or expulsion of Derek Hanekom, but those who are in the perspective of the president, of the deputy president, of Paul Mashatile, the Treasury General, they will be gunning for your head, and the debate will no longer be centralized around Derek Hanekom. And the person who may be coming out with blood on their nose and bruised from this particular NEC may be you, SG, and there's very few chances that Derek Hanekom may be disciplined in this NEC. And many people will also say, you've got the likes of Ace Magashule, who are accused of being part of the formation of the African Transformation Movement of Jimmy Man. You've got allegations that you've got former President Jacob Zuma, who's got a cushy and a very fresh and warm relationship with the Black Land First Party of Andile Mngxitama. And many will say, in fact, former President Jacob Zuma did go and meet with Andile Mngxitama and his party just before the elections, because we've got these allegations that some or many ANC leaders were part of plots and were part of formations of splinter political parties to try and weaken the African National Congress going to the 8th of May election. So the focus will not be squarely on Derek Hanekom. You've got allegations on the likes of the SG Ace Magashule. You've got allegations on the likes of former President Jacob Zuma, who is an ex-officio NEC member of the African National Congress, on the virtue that he's a former president, just like a former President Thabo Mbeki, who's an ex-officio NEC member, but hardly ever attends any NEC meetings. It will be interesting to see if former President Jacob Zuma will come to this NEC meeting. But you've also got the likes of Tony Yenge, the ANC NEC member, who's very vocal on social media, particularly on Twitter, calling for the head of Derek Hanekom, saying that the ANC constitution will be thrown in the face of Derek Hanekom in this NEC meeting that is taking place at 2 o'clock this afternoon.
All right, Samgele Masego live for us outside the venue of the ANC NEC meeting.